All right, we got two of my favorite people in here right now. Bullshipples, who's I could call you like a longtime friend now, right? Like that,
For
it's
sure.
in crypto time. It's almost infinite the number of
A lifetime.
how long we've known each other. And of course we got BadGifter, creator of R.Land and saver of BluDAC. Um, and yeah, just so everybody knows, I actually launched a few pools this morning. And I did one for BitBlue, of course. And I just forexed it compared to all the other pools that aren't stake blue or wax blue, which are sort of our staples.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I juiced the that one because again, like BluDAC wouldn't exist at all. There would be nothing going on if it wasn't for you coming in and saving our bacon. So just a little thank you of an in yourself.
I guess I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think the toil nailed it. The hat is too powerful.
Ah,
That's what it is.
100%.
And we're back. And we're back down with the system.
Yeah.
Everything was going so fun too. And now, granted, I was just in the team chat for Uplift. Apparently, all of Minecraft is down right now, like
Oh,
all of it. So that's interesting. I blame the Russians.
yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, there's something weird going on besides that because like Amazon's been down a couple times. All these services keep going down. And I'm just like, what's wrong with people?
Right.
Like most of these service level agreements, you're supposed to be up like 99% of the time. And it's just kind of weird.
Right.
Just it seems randomly like the last couple months, everything just keeps going down. Like Discord, it's gone down twice, I think.
A bunch of times, right?
Yeah, it's very unusual.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna blame the Russians. I've
Yeah.
no evidence whatsoever for that at all, but you know they're a target-rich environment right now for hate. Anyway, sorry. I also launched. I was gonna launch Ken, but there was some precision mismatch thing. Like this is my first time this week, kind of launching pool, so kind of getting to know that stuff. Not sure what's going on there, but I did do Nefty and Stonkers and Kate, just because they were on my mind. And we got a bunch more. I'll probably do 3 or 4 every day until we get kind of all of our OG pools out.
Nice.
And of course, yeah, we got. I've been chatting with Bullshipples a bunch about like what do we do with this? Like what like obviously like BluDAC we kind of we're on hold a little bit while I'm trying to figure everything out for Uplift. But it's still a powerful idea. Like what how do we kind of take it forward? So I want to chat about that a little bit today. But mostly like maybe not mostly. Maybe mostly. I got to figure out what to do with all my R.Land shit cuz I'm not mining bit yet and it makes me sad. So I'm hoping I can get on that. Yeah, I bought like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it since then because I suck.
I mean, it'll be a good time to get into it. I want to say in like 2 weeks,
yeah?
if you're not doing it already. But if you own a bunch of R.Land stuff, the best thing I would say to do is to A, join the Discord, and B, stake it to our planet.
That's done.
Not sure if anybody's noticed, but we're always number one. Well, number two, number one, number two. I feel like we're cheating the system, but
Why do you think you're cheating the system? Just because you sold a bunch of stuff and had the presence of mind to get your hands on a bunch of Aether?
yeah,
And
I mean, right now I feel like I'm just kind of directing what collections get where, But we've been working with actually a few different projects to boost their ratings on our planet as well, which is kind of nice. And yeah, there was some contention. People were like, "Oh, how come R.Land gets to do all this stuff?" And I'm like, "Hey, look, the community spoke when they bought a lot of our packs back when we were selling for Ether.
Mm-hmm.
You guys could have done it, or you could have not done it, but the
Right.
community, they did it." So, and I could have fucked everybody over and just kept selling Ether, right? Like we could have done that, I don't know, 60, 70 billion Ether. But no, didn't do that either.
Nope.
Trying to save what there is left, I guess, with our planet. And, none of it seems to be helping, I guess. But I figure maybe that eventually it will get a little bit better. Their game's going to come out. Things will start improving. So, until then, just kind of holding Ether. I 100% did not predict that they would make it staking with Ether, which actually was a nice surprise. I was like, hey.
Well, I mean, they had to do something with it, right? I mean,
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
nine is like hyperinflation is real. There's a reason why there was just like 60 billion Aether looking for something cool to do, and R.Land is absolutely a really good example of that. So they had to figure something out. I think like something like it was inevitable. I think Bullshipples, you were even mentioning that you thought it was going to be something like that before it happened because you're clairvoyant.
Well, they had to do something, like you said, and we were having a conversation weeks ago now where we were looking at all the different things, and you're like, every possible thing they could have done to right the ship, they did all of it, like 10x, right? Like they're swinging that pendulum hard the other way. So, looking at the game development timeline and what they have, coming up, I'm heavy into our planet, love our planet, and war sucks for sure. Their safety. Hopefully, everybody realizes that people are more important than profits. But watching their chat and watching what's happening, they're still pushing forward. Like they're still planning on hitting timelines, and nobody likes to wait. And the floor is real fun while everybody waits. But then as soon as something launches, I think we rocket ship up from there.
It's a good possibility.
100%. Like I knew they were going to do something too, because like it just made sense. I just could have predicted this, and then I mean I did predict the reducing the elements because everybody just kept talking about it. I wish they reduced the rigs as well, because I sold all mine and got elements back in the day because it's so I guess the way it worked out is some people ended up doing pretty well. Some people ended up getting screwed, and then they complained about it. But that's how life is, basically.
Yeah.
Not everybody can win. Even in our land, like we want everybody to win, but it's not gonna happen. No matter what we do, unless for some reason everybody that plays our land controls the world, then yeah, we could all win, and everybody that's not in our land would be the less
winners.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think so. So basically, the goal of R.Land is total world domination, and thereby everyone in the R.Land community will do pretty well.
Yeah, I mean that's the only.
I mean, I'm in. I got a nice little stake. Like, let's do it up.
BadGifter for sure.
Right? Like that's
BadGifter for president.
I mean,
so much worse.
There's so many plans we have. I was just talking recently about them, and I mean, by the end of this year, we're not one of the top collections on wax itself. Just
oh, the internet.
Oh,
hey, can you repeat that back up? No, it's better now. Maybe.
It's hard for me to tell.
Well, that was fun.
It could be my internet. I don't know.
You're good. You're good now.
That's the thing about living in Turkey. You can't get faster than like 50 megabits a second. Like you pay for 100, they give you 50.
Yeah.
and it's hard. Like I had to buy one of the best place in Istanbul. I had to rent here just to get the fast internet. Like I wanted to rent like some cheap $500 a month shack in the middle of nowhere. Couldn't do it because of the internet.
Crazy pants.
Yeah. So anyway, lots of plans coming up. I mean, I think R.Land at this point, like with our plans, we're gonna have to expand beyond wax, because there was some stuff that I was doing, and a lot of people don't like me talking about this, but with wax and EOS, the way the blockchain works, it's great. It works great. It's free, but I think there's going to come to a point where it's not going to be a viable option for like games, especially like live action games. So something that requires lots of actions, because everybody knows, as we've seen, alien worlds, farmers, they both between those two have taken up a ton of bandwidth on the chain, and every time they do, it just causes everything else to go crazy. So I was talking just recently about the idea that I think in a couple months we'll stay on wax, obviously, but we're going to expand and have our NFTs and token on other chains too, like EOS, Ethereum, Solana, Binance Smart Chain, just to kind of spread the pressure around. And some other numbers that I was looking at, like I hate to be the downer, the amount of people buying and selling on Atomic and trading and stuff was surprisingly very low. Like I thought, unless I'm looking at the wrong numbers, I thought there would be like hundreds of thousands of traders. There isn't. Compared to like other chains, it seems very small, and it confuses me how wax is still so small of a blockchain / community at this point, because we have Alien Worlds, which was top of the list for lots of different charts.
Yeah.
Wax got listed at Binance, and it's still underperforming. So even in the future, I guess as wax builds and other games builds and stuff, R.Land should be building right up along with it. But just to kind of put a little bit of a fire under there, we're gonna, I guess, expand a little bit so that people can use other blockchains that they're used to try and get them to come over to wax. Because if we're just going to sit here and wait for new players to join, I
agree with everything you're saying. Like we're doing this odds and ends sale once we get to control of the uplift, which is just some odds and ends stuff, right? Like people want to buy the land next to them that we still have in our wallet, whatever, right? So we're going to do that. It's going to be map based. It's going to be really cool. Hopefully in a week or two. But I mean, everything else we're doing this year is not on wax, right? Like all the development stuff that we're doing is all obviously going to be, for the entire uplift, but releasing new stuff, like we're going to Polygon, we're going to, we'll probably get a little presence on EOS, and even on Ethereum, right? Just 'cause I think like being chain agnostic just seems like a really, really smart thing to do. Cause at the end of the day, like we don't know which chains are going to be, ascendant and top of market in 5 years, in 10 years. And I don't care what anyone says. If you think yours is it, you might be right, but you also very much might be wrong. And so it just makes so much sense to diversify, frankly, for everybody. And you're right, like that'll bring tons of people to the wax blockchain because it's just there's going to be so many more vectors for them to kind of learn about what we're doing.
Well, what really kind of downed me is I've been in crypto for since the beginning. And the one thing that everybody's always talking about is like, oh, crypto needs to be decentralized, right? So like that's why Ripple, XRP, I fucking hate that trash because it's just owned by some corporation. And so I guess that's why wax initially was like, okay, this is a little weird because you got 21 nodes, but it's free for everybody to be a node operator, right? So I've been dabbling into running my own production nodes and stuff. And then that's when you realize there's no way a person, like let's say myself, if I wanted to run a production node, I could do it. Okay, $2,000 a month, maybe $1,000, whatever, for the server equipment, some time to set it up. Very easy stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to get the votes, okay, we're talking over 1 billion votes, impossible. The only way to do it, this is what I've been researching, the only way to do it is to get into what I call the gang or the mob or whatever that controls the votes for top nodes. And I'm just like, okay, well, so we went from decentralized-ish to just straight up it's controlled by a committee.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, that's like I was talking to Brad from TFI Lunch a couple hours ago, and that always comes up with Bitcoin too, right? Like Bitcoin's not decentralized in that same thing. Like there is a very few number of companies that are doing all of the mining, and they're all doing it in concert with each other and could fork it at will, right? Like they absolutely have the power to squash or move it in any direction they want to. It's not decentralized.
Well, that's why I liked Ethereum when it came out. You know, I had bought so much at like a couple dollars. I sold out. Don't worry, I'm not rich, but I sold out way too early. But no, when Ethereum came out, I was like, okay, now this could actually be a decentralized system,
right?
Because I had worked with the only company that was making Bitcoin mining equipment. And they had told me like they're secretly actually mining most of the Bitcoin because they're using their own miners that were like second generation, third generation above the current generation that they sold to people. So if they selling 10 terahash, gigahash, whatever per whatever, then they're using 1,000. So their equipment was like 10 times faster than what they're selling to the public. And they spread it out throughout the world in, I wouldn't say illegal operations, but, they weren't business licensed or anything. So like there was one in Denver, Colorado that I got to check out one time. And they were just running mining facility inside like an old warehouse that was used for like King Soopers, so like grocery store stuff. And they're just running it there. And they said they'd run those for 3 months and then they would sell them. So then they would release the newer equipment and then sell the ones that they were already using for 3 months. And I was like, the fuck? So that Bitmain literally owned at one point almost half the Bitcoin, I would say. Half the Bitcoin. And they said they wouldn't sell it until it hit like 20,000. And I thought they were crazy because it was like trading at $100. It hit 1,000, and guess what? It fucking crashed, right?
Weird.
So you're right. It's like nothing is really decentralized, and that's why I've kind of like, okay, Wax is fine, that's cool. But then now I'm finding this like production thing, like okay, I have to submit my approval, which is fine again because I haven't done that yet, But I could just see like it's so much a harder chain to work with, like if you want to go mine Ethereum, guess what? I can just start up a program right now. Boom, I'm mining Ethereum. If you want to mine Wax, you can't do that. If you want to make a Wax account, can't do that unless you want to pay money for it. So like, but the handoff is it's free to use once you have everything set up. And like R.Land, we can pay the CPU and the RAM and the whatever for the player. So free to use, but that goes back to like I could just not use blockchain and that'd be free to use too.
Well, this is where I think it's important to understand what blockchain is actually doing, right? You can't have NFTs on a database. Not really.
Yeah.
Right. Like I mean, you can, and like Flow is doing it and proving it. But like at a certain point, I think you need it decentralized enough so that we can actually do the innovation, the free market stuff that we're doing. Does that make sense? Or am I off base?
No. I 100% agree with the NFTs. Like the NFTs for being decentralized on like Wax blockchain or Polygon or whatever. it's genius. I was just sitting there thinking, no way I'm going to make a game for years, like a full-fledged, like let's say Fortnite, Call of Duty, whatever.
Right.
No way it's going to actually run on a blockchain. I mean, it could eventually if internet speeds and stuff got faster. And
I was talking about this with Brad this morning too. Like when we first started talking to people seriously about booting the Uplift up, this group that were suggested that their CTO come and work on this, and it was just great guy, total ideologue. Everything had to be on chain. No, it doesn't. Like that's like none of that's true, right? Like what do we actually need and why? Well, I mean, NFTs and being part of the NFT marketplace, having that access and that individual ownership and having that the open blockchain so other people can use the NFTs, yada yada. Like all that's really really cool. That was basically it. It's still it. It's all we use, right? So at what point, I think that the biggest things about whether blockchain or why blockchain or centralized or decentralized or whatever, like I get the whole idea that we want to be perfectly decentralized so that we can be anti-fragile and have sort of censorship resistance or whatever, right? Like nobody can shut you down. On the back end of that though, like if anyone really wants to shut you down, they're gonna probably sort of kind of figure it out. But then like what's decentralized enough? And then what do you actually want to do? Because like if you're gonna do like a real game, you're gonna have to have something that's designed for running those things and only interact with the blockchain when you absolutely have to.
Exactly. And see, that's where I think we're going to take R.Land. Like that's where we've been from the beginning, but that's definitely the direction we're still going to keep going. Is everything is on chain if it's related to the token or if it's related to the NFTs.
Yep.
Because I do think your token balance and your NFTs, those should be on chain just so someone can't take them from you.
Right. Like now you don't have to secure that as a database. And I mean, from a regulatory standpoint, you're not holding any funds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been cool to see the space evolve. Looking at prospectors that we can put out. I've heard Bond say that this will probably be the first and last game that has absolutely every transaction on chain because it's just not necessary, right? But it was interesting. Like it was an interesting experiment starting over on EOS and then they've come to Wax as well. But every single transaction, every action in the game is on chain, and there's delays as a result of that. And so you think a first-person shooter, there's no way that could be a good user experience if you're having to wait that latency delay with every single move, right? But watching the space evolve, like we all learn from each other and we move forward. And so watching the space evolve to the point where we can now see what is needed decentralized, what is needed on chain. And then, whether it's layer 2 or just, side-by-side parallel systems, we can see how to move forward efficiently without being handicapped by blockchain and instead being able to use it to propel us forward.
Yeah, no, exactly. That whole latency thing is another, thing I was thinking about because right now for like claiming on R.Land, we have to wait for the blockchain to like update and all this stuff. It gets kind of annoying even for myself, and I'm just like, okay, it'd just be faster if I use some sort of like real-time database, which is actually what we're gonna do for like a marketplace, because that's something that we've been actually actively building since last year. Is another Wax EOS marketplace. And the one thing that drives me nuts is having to constantly refresh the damn website just to see like my inventory or if something got bought. Because like, especially on big drops on like Atomic Hub, when things go crazy and people are clicking and buy, I'm trying to buy something that's already been bought, and it's just like, wow, this is getting so annoying. So adding a real-time factor would mean that we need to just kind of reduce a little bit of that on-chain stuff. So yeah, like you said, I think over time it'll probably separate back to where only tokens and NFTs, anything financial wise, like financial balances or whatever, will probably be on the blockchain, which is how it should be because that's what crypto was mainly first started as.
Yep.
and then anything, not really financially important, just kind of be still running on like servers for the projects or whatever. So yeah, interesting stuff. I just think it'll be cool to try making a teleport for NFTs, because we want users to be able to take their Wax NFT and put it on their EOS NFT or into Polygon or Ether. Probably not Ether because that shit's expensive. But yeah, I think it'd be really cool to like just move your NFTs around. It's a little bit technically hard to do, but yeah, we'll figure it out.
I've almost everybody that I've talked to in the dev space is thinking about that, or actively putting some effort into it. I think it's only a matter of time.
Especially if it's like universal, So if you can take any Wax NFT and convert it into a Polygon NFT or Solana, now that would be cool. Because I could have in like 2 weeks, I could have a teleport running that would take not even 2 weeks, like a couple of days. That would have R.Land's owner shards available on Solana. Okay, that's easy. The trick is coming down to customized NFTs and how to convert those into, because when you're making one type of NFT, like the owner shards, there's set data, there's set, restrictions, whatever. And when you're doing that, you could custom make the code so it'll take that exact owner shard and it'll copy it over here. But when you start trying to do it for every collection or any NFT on the Wax blockchain, oh shit, it's, because some NFTs can have immutable data, some cannot. Some of that data is actually important, some's not. The images,
there's no standard to get that information across in a way that's going to be okay.
So there needs to be, if there is going to be like a teleport, it would be to where you'd have the NFTs would have to meet a certain standard, and obviously, I think some people could say, like atomic assets. So that would be the standard. If it's an atomic asset, it could be transferred. But it would have to be like within limits too. I don't know. Because you could theoretically make an atomic asset that has a crap ton of mutable data, which takes up a lot of RAM. And when you want to like convert that into like a Solana NFT or something, I don't even know the technical issues with that, but it could be a big issue. But I think a teleport could easily be made that takes an atomic asset within a certain amount of RAM and convert it to other chains. But the mint numbers would probably be different unless you wrote code
to sort of capture it.
Yeah. See, it's, I don't know. I think it's kind of exciting for me, but for most people, they're just like, why can't you do it right now?
Right? Just like do the magic, monkey. Well, come on, dance.
Since we're talking about what's coming next, I think we should ask the question, what's next for BluDAC? I've been in the community this last month, and it's been cool to see the ones that are still active and still involved. But that is the question on everybody's mind. Is what is next? What's coming next? So I would love to jump into that.
Yeah, we can. I mean, so I don't know. Where do you want to start with that? Like, there's the crazy one that you and I basically just, I think, got on the same page on yesterday that I don't think we should talk about yet. Some potential rebranding thing. That's like the tip of the iceberg. That's like a snowflake on the tip of the iceberg of that idea.
That tomorrow.
Yeah. But you actually had an idea about, doing some swaps around, like, changing token into NFTs and back and forth and doing some interesting blends. I'd love to chat you just to just talk about that idea because it's yours. But then I talked to want from Nefty yesterday, and they're just building that shit into Nefty blocks, like everything we would ever need to go and like kind of fuck around with this idea. They're like literally going to launch it before we can get our shit together to launch it anyway. So that to me was just like kismet. The universe was just like, hey, why don't you guys do some crazy shit like this? I'm like, okay, let's do it up.
And that's what's so great about seeing the industry evolve is what people want ends up existing because everybody wants it, right? And BadGifter, actually, what you did with Digital Ducks and that collab where you're doing a collab and then there's mutual benefit, and you're talking about moving people to the top of lists and staking and mining and benefit to communities. But I believe that's where the power is in the connections, in the collabs, where we can mutually benefit one another and bring value to our connected communities. That's where I see the power of BluDAC is in the connection point, because the infrastructure, the industry is building all around us. And it's simply a matter of taking all these different pieces and connecting them for the mutual benefit of the communities, because there's so many communities that don't even know what is possible right now all around them from an infrastructure standpoint. And so just coming in, providing the service of connecting what's possible to the communities for the mutual benefit of the connected communities, there's exponential power there. I'm really excited about that part of it.
Yeah, it does sound nice. It keeps saying community. It reminds me I need to build a community pool. Yeah, I've had some shitty last couple weeks, actually couple months. Boy. But I'm back. I'm healthy. I'm looking
dapper as fuck, I think the phrase is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, this hat's just to protect my image, I guess. And I showed some pictures to some friends, and they're like, "Holy shit, what the?" And I'm like, "Hey, it's still me underneath, okay?" No.
Oh man,
I love it.
But anyway, yeah, I'm excited for some BluDAC stuff. I had almost finished the community pools just a couple weeks ago, and then I gotten some bad health, so I was just like, okay, fuck this.
Yeah, man, health first. That's for
sure.
I
I was able to add like a withdraw all button, which for me personally was great because I was tired of clicking shit. I did do like a auto updates that I added to it, so the website just auto refreshes every, I think, 30 seconds or something. Because again, I like user interaction and the experience, and if I'm constantly have to click a website to refresh it, I'm just like, I'm out. But yeah, there's a few more things I want to do on the website, but hopefully we can work on something different, because everybody, it's easy to stake the tokens, everybody's doing it. But yeah, it'll be exciting to have something new for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about doing NFT staking for a while, and then again, like NFT staking, obviously Aether's kind of or R.Land is already doing that. But one thing I'm really passionate about seeing in the world is having that in community tools. Any project can do any stake any project they want for whatever token they want. Just seems like it'll be again increasing the network effect and the number of tools that all these projects and games have to do cool shit.
Okay, yeah, no, that would be cool. Yeah. So you could stake a person's collection, like you could stake R.Land and say, if you're staking these, you'll get blue token or bit token
or anything.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would be fun,
right?
I wonder how hard that would be.
Yeah, I talked to Nathan already about the he had the contract kind of mapped out for it, so if we can get that. And what we were trying to do as well is being able to have staking an NFT plus a token, so we could have Shipple NFTs or R.Land NFTs launch on a thing, but require staking some blue as well to get blue just from the BluDAC side, right? But then on the community pool side, you could have projects coming in like R.Land can say, okay, you can stake this NFT. It could be even like a partner that you're working with, right? This partner project's NFT, but with Bit, and you'll earn Bit or whatever token you want to do. So we kind of wanted to start, combining those things as well.
Yeah, that just reminded me, because that was only one thing I think BluDAC needs, as addition to other tools and stuff, a way to spend the blue token. Because I've been enjoying staking it. I have way too much blue for some reason. Oh, I remember why. So, we still have that R.Land drop going on. And for a while, I did not know why people were spending a shit ton of blue to buy the NFT packs. And I was just like, every day I'd wake up, there'd be like another million blue token in the wallet. And I'm just like, what's going on? So I looked into it. Oh, the blue's price, it was cheaper to use blue token instead of like the other tokens to buy the packs.
Yeah, blue dropped some.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, that's interesting. So I was watching blue's price, just because I have a bunch. I was watching blue's price. It just kept going down and down. And then I took away the cheap blue option, and then the price started leveling out. And I was like, oh. And it wasn't that much. So I think just having some little kind of service or whatever that would take blue as a requirement, I think could help a lot of the community.
Yeah, we need buy side for sure, and that's you can put stuff on sale for blue on Nifty and take it in, right? And like you're taking blue in, I don't think you're dropping the price by trading it in necessarily, but we need the R Planet thing kind of did it, right? Like whether it's syncing it to get on the list, which is another thing that Bullshipples and I are talking about, or using it to buy stuff or using it to burn things, and that's where kind of the NFT denominator, like NFTs, kind of come in, right? Being able to swap it over to an NFT, you're effectively burning blue to make that happen. And then we can do really awesome and fucked up and cool blends with stuff and basically make it a lot more deflationary than it's initially designed to be, right? Because when we were doing the fees and stuff, the idea was to start burning that, but especially where it is now, like it's not bringing in enough to have any sort of material effect on price. So yeah, I think like the buy side part of it, that's going to be ongoing. We need to add metric shit tons of stuff on the buy side to keep it relevant, right? It's easy to earn. That's awesome. We can start increasing the network effect of having more people that have it in their wallets, but we need to definitely make sure that people have like a reason for wanting it, that isn't just dumping more of it back into the system.
Yeah, no, 100%. And go ahead.
Oh, I'm just going to say I'm most excited about this part of it because we've been talking behind the scenes quite a bit about exactly what that is and how to do that. And it's tough, right? Because while we're still building it, while we're still planning it, while we're still putting it out there, how far in advance of something that's coming do you talk? Because the last thing any one of us want to do is overpromise and then underdeliver. And so, I say this next thing carefully. What I can say is one of the things I'm most excited seeing evolve in the space is the ability to interchange tokens and NFTs. Mm-hmm. That concept and Kate, was the one that first influenced that. And then Nifty is actually coming with a system and a marketplace that will allow you to do that in a customized way. But being able to take a token and freely interchange it with an NFT, what that does is that makes both of them more liquid. And being able to, buy and sell and trade what you have in a liquid way is one of the things that I believe has been most missing from the Wax experience. Because we all end up with bags of stuff that when we're ready to trade that bag of stuff for the next bag of stuff, sometimes that's very difficult to do. And so watching that evolve where you can take a token, take an NFT, and interchange them freely makes both more liquid. And then where that goes to an exponential level of awesomeness is the idea of these super blends and the collabs, where you can take one community's NFT, take another community's NFT, blend them together for a third, either token or NFT or combination of the two. Like that creates use case and value and liquidity for both communities' NFTs and tokens. And then when you can take any of those pieces and put them into staking mining pools in any combination, like the opportunities become limitless. And the power then truly resides in the connections and the collaborations between communities. It's communities coming together to create something that would not exist without that connection. And rather than having communities in silos with their own sales and their own collections, it adds a whole third option, right? Where all of a sudden there's additional value, additional use case, additional sales, additional liquidity, just based on that connection.
It's more network effect.
About that.
Yeah, no, that goes back to the core principle of, and I know Bullshipples, you have been, bringing that up, more than me, and I think it's important, right? Like the whole point was that community connection, network effect in the beginning. That was the whole plan, right? Of course, we're getting, it's easy to get in the weeds in the nitty gritty of the day to day or whatever, especially over the last couple months for me. Mea culpa, things have been weird. But yeah, look, at any time we could just recommit, double down, triple down, and go back to basics. And I think where the stuff you have in your head right now is it's the way to go. Like that, it leaves us open to being able to do collabs with every community that we love out there, and bring real value into the space at scale. It's gonna be fun. That's my point.
Yeah, and a thing on collabs that I've noticed is even if you're collaborating with smaller projects, it still brings in a lot more new users into like your own project. So collaborations are great because at this point, like I was saying, I think even though some people try saying that there's more users on Wax and like 10 million or whatever, it's bullshit. From what I've been seeing, I think the amount of new users on Wax is very little. And so collaborating with other projects that are already existing on Wax is great because there's people that still don't even know what BluDAC is. They don't even know what R.Land or Uplift is. And when I said Uplift to some people and they're like, "What's that?" I'm like, have you heard of Our Planet or have you heard of
right? You know what Atomic Hub is, right?
What's going on? But it still amazes me that there's just some people that just don't see it, don't know about it, and so collaborating with other projects seems to do a lot better. And then I think even for BluDAC, if at some point the blue token could expand off Wax as well, then you have even more users.
Well, and we started doing that with Polygon, and those I still have some more conversations with them about with Crystal about doing some stuff over there. And again, eventually we're going to do some stuff over there. Long list of shit to do. I know people have some blue over there. It is what it is. But yeah, no, I totally agree. Like that multi-chain and multi-communities, like that network effect is exactly how we have to go across the board, not just with different projects on Wax, but different projects everywhere, which is going to be, frankly, the story of Uplift, starting about 3 months from now for a good long while. Like, we probably won't release anything more on Wax for, I don't know, at least a year.
I mean, that's good for the project, probably. It's just, I don't know, just something weird with Wax. I just can't put my finger on it. So I just, whatever. We have a great community and everything seems to be running great except for myself. My body should be running better now.
Excellent.
Things are just getting better.
You got a cool hat out of it. I mean, come on.
100%. I mean, that, like, I am legitimately jealous about that. I mean, that's just real.
I've had this hat for years, and we decided to wash it, and it just kind of unstitched it a little. So I'm a little upset, but I'm not supposed to wear a hat very long, so I think my head's starting to hurt more.
All right. Well, hey, let's get some gratitudes, and then we'll chat about anything we have to chat about before we go, and then we'll take off. As far as I found the video already about how to mine on Discord. You guys have that set up, so I don't need you to hold my hand. I can fucking buck up and learn how to do it myself, which is what I'm gonna do. But yeah, so BadGifter, what are you grateful for right now, other than that sweet ass hat?
I'm grateful for my girlfriend that I met in Turkey. Life has changed, after meeting her, so for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's super adorable. I mean, that's definitely true for my wife and I, and I imagine Bullshipples would probably chime in as well. Without her, I would have accomplished almost nothing in the last 10 years. Honestly, I'd probably still be playing music or dead from constantly like drinking my face off, which is what I did as a musician. Yeah. So anyway, good call. Bullshipples.
Well, I mean, now I feel like I have to say my wife because so
I mean, that's
two, right?
No cheating. That's mine. No.
100%.
No, she's awesome for sure. I was gonna say community connections. I'm excited about community connections.
That's a good one. Yeah.
For me. All right. I'm grateful for you guys today. Just the fact that I have badasses like you in my orbit that I get to do crazy shit with is a big deal. But thank you.
Corey, I'm still having a hard time getting over yesterday's show with Juan because that was absolutely mind blowing. Anybody watching this show, if you haven't seen that one, stop whatever you're doing. Like,
it was good.
Watch that. So what I realized yesterday, and we're prepping for this show and putting together some plans behind the scenes for BluDAC mission next, and there's some cool things we'll hopefully be able to post here soon. But watching that show with Juan, what I realized is what I've wanted for a long time is now actually possible. And what I've wanted for a long time is multiple token NFT purchase. Because I would love to be able to take some of my blue and some of my bit, and if I don't have enough of either to purchase the NFT that I want, what if I could just use 2 tokens to purchase an NFT? Well, what I've realized is that is actually now possible because with denominationalized NFTs, where what Kate has set up and NFT is going to expand as well, you can actually take a token, exchange it for an NFT or vice versa. And many of the projects are now starting denominationalized NFTs, where if I take 1,000 blue and I turn it into an NFT that is 1,000 blue, what if I could do that same thing with Bit? Oh wait, Bit already has denominationalized NFTs, right? And so what if I took 1,000 blue NFT and 1,000 Bit NFT, blended those into the NFT that I wanted? What I've truly done is I've paid for that NFT with 2 separate tokens. And so being able to pay for NFTs in a blend process rather than in a purchase process, that's mind-blowing to me because it enables multi-token purchase. And what if you had 3 different communities that each had a sale or were involved in that sale of creating that NFT? Because with a super blend, you can have however many NFTs you want, right? And so all of a sudden, you could have 5 community tokens involved in a purchase and purchase one NFT with 5 different tokens. I mean, like those possibilities, where we go from there.
Get one token from Alcor and then do that. But I like where your head's at. I mean, that like those kinds of tools. I mean, that's just the fact that they're going to exist. We get to now start messing around with it 100% and just like gamify the entire experience even more than it already has been, right? With all the blends that are already out there, I think it's going to be really interesting for sure. Yep. All right. Well, let's get BadGifter out of here. Thank you so much for coming on. Definitely want your head to start feeling better. Yeah. PSC Wells, I mean, nails it. Sorry we haven't got to much of the comments. These guys are too interesting today. That's 100% dope. Totally takes you out of needing fiat. I mean, that at the end of the day, the less dollars we need, the more happy the world is. So we'll just leave it at that. Thank you so much. Hey, is there anything going on with the R.Land that anybody needs to know about? You said something's going on in 2 weeks. We can definitely have you back to talk about that.
I mean, so like right now we're just doing giveaways. We're going to give away those digital duck packs. So if you're part of Discord or Twitter, in a couple weeks, we're going to switch over to web mining. You'll still be able to mine on Discord, but should be a little bit easier for new players to come and just mine directly on the website, as well as public mining. So if you don't have land and you don't have an axe, you can still mine. Won't be a lot, but anything's better than zero. And that's just about what's happening right now, I guess.
That's awesome. All right. Yeah, when that goes live, maybe we'll just get you back on for that and do that, because that sounds like what this particular noob with very little time just needs in my life.
Yeah.
I want more bit. I want it now.
Yeah, definitely be back on, and
Awesome.
we'll just walk everybody through on how to be a bit millionaire, and that should be about it.
All right, sounds good. Bullshipples, you got anything you need to add?
Well, I mean, I love hearing bit millionaire. I feel like we coined it first with shillionaire, but I like it.
Yeah. Well, we're switching to shards actually, but
So the Shipple Show is actually going live in about 9 minutes, and so
All right.
if you're out there in YouTube watching land, check out the Shipple Show here. About 9 minutes.
Yeah, on this channel too, right? Obviously.
It is.
Sure.
Yep.
All right. Good.
thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Cheers, guys. Ciao.
Bye.
Is it